Hello, hello, hello. This is a personal power portrait picture for my dear friend Heather J. Wax. You're welcome to contact me with the information about it, or you're welcome to comment, but please understand this is purely for Heather J. Wax. I shall commence in a moment. I'm just going to set my camera up so she can watch the drawing as it progresses. Sorry. Some bumps today. Oh, here we go. Right. Let's take my tripod down a little bit. Make sure that I can see. Excellent. We're there. So, going to do a personal power portrait for Heather. I've got her photograph on my laptop, which is why my laptop's right by the side of me. And just make sure that she can see what I'm doing. There we go, move my lipstick out the way. So I'm just going to open Sacred Space. I've got a lovely candle that says, always believe in magic. And certainly I do. For those who believe in magic shall certainly entice it into their world. So I'm going to light that. Just going to sit for a few moments just with my guides and just ask them to come in and help me give the most powerful personal reading for Heather J. Wax. All right. So I have my special little book here that I do my personal power portraits in. And I have my trusty bag of pens. All right. Select from one magical box to another magical box. Here we go. So the way I work this is I am going to have to look, because otherwise I draw on my table, but I have no intention of what I'm drawing. It's just a case of what the spirit world gives to me. This takes around about an hour, and Heather's very kindly bidded on this in a little auction that we had. And as I draw it, as things keep coming to some kind of pattern, I will then give her some indication of what these things are meaning. Maybe to do with the colours, maybe to do with the shapes, it may be to do with where things are positioned, so many different reasons, so many different things. Really want to scrub that in. Okay, that's interesting. So you won't be able to see everything I'm drawing because I just need to go with what I'm given, but you will see the end product. So this is Heather's Reiki coming in. I do know Heather's a Reiki master, so that's what they're bringing in right now. It's very much the Reiki symbols that are coming in there. There's also a connection with Heather with music. So I feel this is something from childhood, and I feel it's like a wind instrument that they're bringing to my mind. They're saying this healing that you give out is also very healing for you. So it feels like whenever you give healing, there's an energy around you that you just feel that there's a little part of you that's really received it. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's a lovely thing to have, Heather. That's really important. Certainly the colours pink and purple really resonate with you as a person. I can see that within your aura. I know your hair's got those tones, but it's not just your hair. That's your person. So you're very loving, you're very supportive, you're very tender, you're very giving, and you're also incredibly spiritual. But it's like you understand the value of life. You don't understand the value of money. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I mean it as in you're well, for me, your priorities are in the right place. Absolutely in the right place. So I'm not going to go too far into this, but I do feel in the past there's been some trouble with your self-esteem. And I feel that part of this trouble with your self-esteem has been overcome by creativity. So there's definitely something around an uncomfortable connection to personal fuel, individual fuel, and understanding kind of your own needs and your own nurture. But your creative mind has helped you to deal with this. I don't quite know what that is, but that's what they're bringing to me. They're also saying to me that your creative mind will help so many people because you have an understanding of people that's a little bit unusual. So it's not even compassion, it's almost like you physically feel you're in that person's energy, you physically feel that you can feel their discomfort, their disharmonies. It's like you almost time travel into their body, which is a bit strange, but that's what they're telling me. Okay. So it's definitely some situation with either being a mother or motherhood that is uncomfortable for you. I do feel there might be a difficult relationship with a female in your life for certain, because that's what they're bringing in with this shape here. They are saying, though, that you do need to somehow find a way of dealing with this, because it does feel like this this energy pattern, I'm not quite certain what it is, but this scenario that keeps coming up every single time, it kind of hits the healing you've done. And it's like you go back to square one. I want to bring in anemones, which are very much to do with like the Welsh coast for me. Might be the Welsh coast for you, it might be a different sea. But it's very much about childhood, being on beaches and beach combing and just not really worrying about other people, I feel. It's about enjoying nature at its finest. And nature is a massive, massive healer for you. Going forward, Heather, you are going to be a teacher in healing. That's your thing that you're more interested in, even though you find readings are a healing situation. So just going to double check. I haven't heard whether people can hear me or not because I can't see on the live. So let me just see if I can have a look. I can't. Someone one thing. Give me one moment. I just want to check people can hear me. I have got an air conditioning on because I'm very, very hot today. It's very humid. All right, let's just check that you can hear me okay. Let's just see. No, I don't mind. That's what me the other night. Right, so there's nothing saying that you can't see me, so we should all be good. Or hear me. I know you can see me, I don't know whether you can hear me. There's a huge amount of gold around you, Heather, so you're connected to angels. If you haven't experienced them already, you definitely will. And I do feel that an angel saved your life at one point. So this is something you may have not been aware of. But I do feel that someone caused you a situation to not be somewhere where you should have been. And there was a fatality or some kind of accident that happened. It's nothing to frighten you. It's just to remind you that earth angels walk amongst us. And they just want to acknowledge that. Because maybe it's something you've always thought about. Maybe you've thought, oh, isn't that a coincidence that that person was there at that time or that situation arose? It was no coincidence. Okay. So There's a little bit of practice what you preach going on here, Heather, because it's saying to me that you tell people to be very kind with their words and kind about what they say to each other. But there's a little part of you that's not very kind about yourself. So just be very careful of, and I don't use careful as warning, but just aware of the words that you describe yourself as. You are a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful soul. And it's my absolute pleasure to have met you within my life. And I'm sure there's lots of people who feel that way. It's like you can't take a compliment so easily. You kind of feel that you never quite do good enough. Maybe it's a perfectionist in you, that can be a situation, but I do want to bring these kinder words to yourself. I also want to bring to you the idea of cloud scrying. So maybe it's something you've seen lately, you started seeing pictures in the clouds, but your guides definitely are communicating to you through nature. So start paying attention to those things that you kind of think, oh, that's interesting, because they're using them to communicate to you. As I talk about your guides, there's definitely a Native American that works with you. I'm not going to give you a name because they're not giving it to me, but I'm just seeing this person with the plaits and the feathers in their headband. So it's not a chief that I'm linking with, but it's still someone of some importance to have a feather there. They want to give you a feather, Heather, because it feels like you've really stepped out your comfort zone lately. Might even be joining my group that you stepped out your comfort zone, you know, with people not knowing what we're doing, because I don't tend to tell people what we're doing. It's a case of you're drawn to develop with me or not, really. There's an understanding of the basis of what we're doing, but I don't specify. Okay. Now, as I'm linking, Heather, I'm feeling the energy of a gentleman. It's an old gentleman. He definitely would drool, because he's just made me drool, which was a bit embarrassing, but oh well. And I do feel that this person had some kind of military links. The energy feels to me more like a Navy officer than a army officer, or someone connected to that part of the unit. So someone connected to boats. He is saluting to me, so I do feel that he was within the military, and I do feel that his birthday coming up soon, so it should be something you can recognize. Okay. Right, they're bringing it to me like long eyelashes. Are you bringing in long eyelashes? Right. Don't know, maybe you've inherited your long eyelashes from this person. I don't know why they're bringing in long eyelashes. So there have been some real past hurts going on. I feel that there was a relationship with a gentleman that was very detrimental to you, Heather. And I feel that it's high time you now let go of this, because it's got no place in your mind. It's got no place in your current life. Sometimes you hear the echo of what was said, and I want to throw that away. I want to throw that away. I also want to bring to you sketching, Heather, because I don't feel that you've done sketching in quite some time. And actually, it's incredibly therapeutic. As I said earlier, I mean, I absolutely love doing these. I never know what's coming. I don't know what's coming in my readings, because that's kind of the ironic thing about psychics. We don't know what's coming. And if we do know what's coming, then we're not really offering a genuine reading, because we shouldn't know. I'm sure with mediumship that's a bit different, because people sit with mediums beforehand. But you know, this conversation even coming up, Heather, maybe that's something you've been thinking about or talking about, because they don't bring anything in for no reason. But I do think it's really, really important to follow you. And I do say this, and Heather's heard it many a time, that, you know, if it doesn't resonate, don't do it. If you want to see your 4 Hail Marys and turn your cup 3 ways left and 3 ways right for your tea leaf reading, then do it. As I'm talking about tea leaf reading, Heather, there's definitely a lady in your family who was a tea leaf reader. Don't feel she was professional, I feel it was a bit of a joke for them. It was a bit of a laugh. It was a bit of fun time. But knowing the Second World War, that they did a lot of tea leaf reading. It was and various other readings, because it was a form of entertainment. And obviously, as people have been in this current scenario, it's a bit of reassurance in difficult days. So your self-care is really building up here, Heather, but as I'm working with you, I'm still feeling there's not enough water coming into your experience. So you need to really up your water. I'd recommend, if you can, considering an app which will remind you to drink water, because I feel you get so involved in what you're doing and so dedicated to getting things completed. You're a major completer, which is just brilliant, because so many people don't. That you sometimes forget to sort of nurture, have your basic needs, which is your water and a little bit of nutrition. Okay. Being shown biscuits right now, Heather, with you. So I don't know whether this is a current thing, but they're certainly saying if you are reaching for the biscuits, there's better things you could be reaching for. So maybe prepare your snacks for when you're engrossed in what you're doing. I'm pretty certain you don't like this pale colour pink, because that's what they're telling me. This more deep purpley pink is much more of your colour. I'm just trying to fathom out what these bits are here. It's nothing to do with this image that I'm colouring in here, but it's the feeling I get with you, Heather, is that you're a very good story writer. You're very good at fiction, and it feels like there's something you always wanted to do. Maybe it's an editorial. If it is, I've got a friend who's got a magazine and I can get you on it. Okay. So, but I really feel that there's an amazing writer in you. And I feel that you're very good at creating fantasy in people's minds. So I've just been made aware again by Spirit that you are doing some kind of hypnotherapy. Understand that this is not just your lessons that you're working with. This is part of your personal self. So you are a brilliant storyteller. And you take people on journeys, that are very deep, even possibly far deeper than the meditation. I know that sounds a bit wacky, but that's what they're saying to me. Okay. Make sure with any of these situations of the meditation, make sure that you have your boundaries nice and firm, because there's a situation where some people are maybe taking a little bit more than they're giving you. Okay, so you can ask them for a review, you can ask them for a donation, you can ask them for an exchange. Sometimes when people can't afford something, some form of energy exchange is a better option. But please understand that you cannot be just taken. It cannot be just taken. Your work needs to be valued. Your time needs to be valued. Your breath needs to be valued. This is really important. They brought into me, Heather, that you've been considering whether to go accredited or get some kind of letters after your name, some kind of qualification. And I'm being told that this would really be great for you. It would help you with your confidence. It would also help you going forward with insurance and just being credible for what you do. So I feel that it's important for you. It's not always important for everyone, but I feel it is important for you. And I'm being told about your mediumship, sweetheart. So they're just saying to me, you must just say what you see. So maybe it's a case of, when I've posted this to you, because it will be your piece to keep forever. When I posted this to you, interesting pencils coming in. Interesting. Didn't even know there was a pencil in there. Woohoo! But when I post it to you, Heather, maybe you could tell me what you see. And we can go from there as well. That'd be interesting. Know that everyone sees with different eyes. And some of you may have seen the poem I wrote about being authentic. Because some people, you know, as a reader, they put you on a pedestal, which I prefer not, because we're all different parts of a circle, and that's important. And I'm sure that's important for Heather as a reader as well, on a healer. But it's a case of we do see and sense differently. And that's partially to do with our spirit team. That's partially to do with our own experience in life. So for me, this is bringing in the element of charcoal. So it's bringing in art classes. It's bringing in life drawing classes. That's the energy I'm feeling with this. So I would suggest that, Heather, at some point you have had some sort of artistic training. Maybe it's something you're missing. Maybe it's something you could delve into. And maybe it's something you could use within your own readings or healings yourself. Possibly working with the aura and working with the aura color. So I did show you a simplified version of this, but you can obviously draw a much more representative human figure than what I showed you, Heather. All right. So I've got a lovely rich purple coming in now. Color of chocolate for me. Chocolate. It's also a color of wisdom. It's a color of wisdom. There's a connection to Japan or China. I feel it's Japan with you. Don't know whether it's a journey or a desire to go there or what, but there's definitely a really strong connection there. And I just feel that there is some past life links with Japan. They do want to tell you to follow your dreams, darling. I'm hearing the quote from the Rocky Horror Show, which is don't dream it, be it. Okay. So know you can do whatever you want to do, whatever you put your mind to, because you're someone who is very, very assertive. You're very adaptive. You understand the need to change for different people, different scenarios. And you also understand different people have different needs. And this is very important. Very important. Okay, so this is bringing into me now the plant of aloe vera. Aloe vera connects to Mexico, Mexican healing. Aloe vera is an amazing natural healer. The green is now coming in, which is the healing that's coming off it. And I do feel that that there's so much natural healing knowledge inside you. And I just feel that you need to share, Heather. There's like, you have so much knowledge of healing. And maybe like going forward, if you chose to, some kind of healing post every day, that instead of shared from someone else's page as such, I'm not saying you do that because I don't get your posts, unfortunately, but maybe just using something from your own wisdom. It feels that it's very, very strong. It feels like, just feels so, so strong. It's like you would have a remedy for pretty much everything. Obviously, not a cure. And I know that's really, really important to you to say not a cure. That's really. Now, this symbol at the top, I know we've discussed it already, but it's really reminding me of a firework. And because it's at the place which I would call, well, I call it North, where I'm sitting, I would say that around December is a big celebration. So there's something coming in December that's going to be a lovely surprise for you. And I do feel it's around the family. So I can't tell you anything more than that because they're not telling me anything more than that, probably because it's not appropriate in this moment. But I do feel there's a lovely, lovely surprise coming for you in December. next thing they want me to talk to you about, Heather, is a journey. You've been planning on going on a journey. This is to visit relatives. The message I'm getting is you must go, okay? You must go. Now, I don't know why you must go, but they just say you must go. You must be there. Go, go, go. So this is quite a journey. I feel it's a fair drive or a fair distance. But I feel it's important. Something that's been weighing on your mind. I do feel that possibly someone needs to talk to you face to face and just have some of your healing energy and healing advice, healing moments, I suppose. But this lovely gold is coming in just to, you know, say the angels are sending you on your journey there. I've just been put in my mind the image of a chestnut tree with conkers. So this journey may not be till October. It may be that it's not till October, because that's what they're bringing in. They're bringing in autumn for me. Okay, and I know I have dry eyes, Heather, but I feel so are you. So do you. So you can try some nettle tea, but you probably know that already. And you can also try Eye Bright, the herb, and you can also do eye drops like I'm doing. But again, upping up your water intake will help. If you already drink lots of water and you're not receiving it, you may need to look at your sugar consumption. Not sugar consumption, that was a slip, but they have brought that in. But salt consumption, and also your vitamin B12. But I'm not diagnosing, I'm not a doctor, I'm just giving suggestions from my mind. There's a child around you, Heather, that has either an interest in aliens or watching something on television or into, let me just see whether I can figure out what it is. I know who they are, but I can't think of what they're called. They're aliens and they've got a spaceship. And it's like toddler age, I think. That's what I'm seeing. No, I can't remember right now what they are, but they're just bringing a nod in for that. Okay. Because it feels like there's some disconnection between you and small children, and I don't know whether the small children, I think they are still small, yes. Some kind of distance or disconnection there. So as I'm working with this energy, I want to bring in more green. So really covering over the hurts. I really feel the energy of someone shouting at you. I'm just going to leave it there. I don't feel I need to go into anything more there. We're covering all of this with lovely healing energy. So, okay. Right, so you've been doodling yourself, Heather. I feel you need to maybe either one of the two things. Either look at your doodles, see what they represent to you, or look at your doodles and colour in some of the negative spaces. In fact, we're going to do that in a moment because that's what they've just brought to me. So if I colour in some bits, see what brings. What are we going to have today? I've also been brought in the spirographs. That's something you really enjoyed as a child. So I can feel that I'm whizzing around in the spirograph. So I feel this has brought in a dragonfly for you. Just saying the importance of family. The importance of family. And you may want to look up dragonfly as your totem or tribe animal. Tribe insect, no, it's not an animal. And remember, dragonflies, they can go away from home, but they fly back. So there is someone you're missing being at home. They will come back. They're just busy flittering around at the moment. Okay. So grounding, you're huge, really, really good at grounding, Heather. There's something you're doing every day. I feel that you're waking up and starting life the right way. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's just like taking a few minutes to wake up before you put your feet on the floor. Maybe you're putting your feet on the floor and putting down your roots, or maybe you're just putting your feet on the floor and just feeling your feet before you wake up. I'm hugely guilty for this one, I'm afraid, but we must be conscious of our awakening and our waking. It's really, really important. People forget the value of that moment of waking up, putting your feet on the floor, and just being ready for that day. It really can change how the day proceeds. I want to bring in a Pebble Beach for you as a childhood memory, please, Heather. I'm being told Chesil, but I don't know whether it looks like Chesil rather than it actually being Chesil Beach. But Chesil Beach is a pebbly beach. So it's not little pebbles, it's nice big pebbles, and I'm seeing skimming. So it's like pebbles skimming in the sea. Watching those ripples unravel. And I feel the ripple effect is really important for you. Because you fully understand that you don't need to do big actions for them to affect people. Someone around you has either given you already or is going to give you some flowers. It's going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable because you're not used to receiving. But I feel that the lesson in life right now, Heather, is that you are worthy. You are a precious daughter of Gaia. That's what I'm hearing. And this situation that was quite uncomfortable as a younger person with a fellow female is just turning into something beautiful. So it feels like you've really dealt with some situations around this. Feels like this is really turning into something beautiful. And it's almost turning into a thistle for me, so it may be connected to Scotland as well. Maybe have a little look and see if your ancestry goes back to Scotland. I've just been shown, I don't know what his name is, the fellow with the blue face. Mel Gibson, but I can't remember the name of the historical character. I'm going to blow some bubbles. So let's have an intro. Bit of magic in between. Oh, this orange is so around you. This is the chakral center. Chakral? Sacral. Okay. Don't know whether you get your C and S's mixed up, but that was quite odd. I really couldn't say it. Really couldn't say it. So if you don't, Heather, it's just someone in spirit making themselves known that would get C and S mixed up. Okay. So this is frog spawn here. Okay. I feel that the frog again is another creature like the dragonfly, which is saying about family. And it's saying that there's something to do with your business, and a frog would be a great image. Okay. So I know you don't necessarily want to do a business for profit. I feel business, it's like helping people, helping families, helping people who can't quite cope. And certainly children with learning and behavioural difficulties, trying to help them ground, help them come back to square one. There's also beekeeping here, so there's someone around you that keeps bees, and I want to give a thanks to them because they're what turns the world round. They are what turns the world. So there's a birthday coming up in, let's see, September, I think it is. Birthday coming up in September. I feel it's a female's birthday, and they're just saying make sure you celebrate. Don't let this one slide. It feels like these situations. I don't know whether this person's here or not. Let me just see if I can find out. No, I feel they are here, but they're just saying make sure you celebrate. I don't feel I need to say anything more with that. Right. So we come to this peachy pinky colour. Okay. I feel this is about a holiday, Heather. You need a break. Around about September, October time is a good time to have a bit of a break, because it does feel like your life's been a bit of a Tasmanian devil. It's feeling very whirlwindy. And I just feel that they're going to bring in that energy right now within the picture as well. Just, yeah, I was going to say, this whirlwind, it just feels like the thing with the whirlwind is you can end up quite inefficient in what you want to achieve. So they just want to bring to you the idea of having a little break. I do feel being by the sea is really important to you. So I don't know whether you've done it in some time or whether it's something you do on a regular basis. Maybe it's something you do every year and you're feeling like, I can't do it, I don't know. But they're just saying being by the sea would be helpful for you. All right, they're bringing in biscuits or not confectionery, biscuits or baking that has crisscrosses on. This is something you made when you were younger, and it's got a lovely memory link with it. I'm smelling the smell of English biscuits, and I'm also seeing little black shoes with laces up the front. This is something you would have worn as a child. You have bows in your hair also. I feel school was quite difficult for you, Heather, and it's part of your healing journey is understanding that child felt quite lost. Understand other people felt that way too, Heather. I never felt settled in school, never. And when people say they enjoyed primary school, I don't really know what they're talking about. Because my memory of school was just torment. It was nothing to do with learning. I love learning. I think the social side of it and the people expecting you to be a certain way was very, very difficult. Maybe that's a free spirit thing. I just don't know. Talking about free spirit, they're telling me that you've seen a UFO, Heather. All right, you saw this above a property. You saw a light that didn't make any sense. And they're saying that there has been some connection. If you are to sit in your Reiki power, in your meditation, you will receive the communication from them because they're very interested in you. You're very selfless. And they like to observe people who are selfless. Woo! Whoa! Timber. Okay, there's some kind of building going on where you're living. or if there isn't, there needs to be, because it just feels that you're not very settled. And I know I've said to you before that you're moving, but I feel you need to use what you've got meanwhile. I want to give you a therapy room, a crystal room. I want to give you a place that's dedicated sacred space. And I feel this is really, really important. I also want to bring to you idea, Heather, about making your own sprays. I don't think I've got mine up here. My friend makes a lovely meditating one that I've got downstairs. And I feel you know how to infuse the herbs and the scents into the water. Also, maybe using crystals as well. But I feel that that's something that would really be enjoyable for you, and you could use as something within your own work. So the silver here is just really saying about your psychic abilities. They're really, really opening up. I feel the clear taste is coming for you soon, and the clear smell, because I'm smelling all sorts of food. So I don't know whether it's around you, Heather, but I'm smelling fresh food cooking, and it's absolutely delicious. Really lovely, lovely smell. Something about your dreams at the moment, Heather. They've been quite, I don't know, it's prophetic or just interesting. Please jot them down and find your own answers, they're telling me. They're saying now is the time for you to dig deeper and you will find the answers you seek. Right. So on top of everything else, you've got a bit of a crafter in you, Heather, and I feel this is something that you really enjoy. You're not really someone to sit still. You're not really someone to not have something in your hands. And I think this, or I feel this crafting is really beneficial to you. It just keeps you feeling happy. Okay, and there's something about making something to support premature babies as well. So if you haven't thought of that already, maybe you've been thinking, what can I do this for? That's what they're saying to me. So with this whirlwind, we want to slow you down a little bit. We want to slow you down. Need a little bit more time for you, which is where the pink has come in. We've got even more pink. Even more pink. So these streamers. There's a pinky pink, pinky, pinky, purple pink, 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 purple pink. And they're saying to me that you had either frizzy or curly hair when you were a child, Heather. Can you confirm what's making sense for me when you can? That'd be great. Right. So you have tried automatic writing and channeling through picture or word, and it's not worked before. But remember that you may have not been ready before. So they're suggesting to you about lighting a candle and sitting and seeing what words come with your pen. Okay? So this is something that's coming forward for you. I've just heard the words Father Ted, and I know Ted means Edward, but Father Ted's also the comedy. So I don't know quite how we're going to relate this yet. Okay. I don't quite know where we're going with this, but we'll see. Mm. Okay. So I feel there was some kind of retreat that you had booked, Heather, that's not gone ahead because of COVID. And I feel that this opportunity is coming up again. So please don't worry about it. Please don't fret about it. Please don't feel that it's never going to happen, because it will. They're telling me it will. Right, between you and your husband, you need to communicate a bit clearer to him, because there's some kind of disharmony going on. And I feel that sometimes he needs to know he's not right and he's not in the right, and it's not all his decision. It's not me being horrible to him. I just feel that that needs to be mentioned. He's a very good rock for you. And he's always supported you in what you do. And hats off to him for that. He just needs to compromise a bit more. I don't know the relevance of this, Heather, but I'm seeing a black dressing gown. So I feel it's something you should recognise. We're bringing in more gold here, more angelic energy. And gold is crown chakra as well. So I feel your mediumship journey really started in the early spring, really opening up. So just know that, you know, I don't know anyone else's journey, but my own journey's taken me about 10 years to actually be able to do what I do. So it's all going really well. You're progressing beautifully. Just make sure you close down. Hugely, hugely important. Right, as for work, I feel that there's some kind of movement or promotion coming up winter time. And it'll need to be a decision of yours whether you want that extra responsibility. Okay, but that's coming up for you. Nothing horrible, it's all good. You need to put firm boundaries in place in all walks of life, Heather, because you're a giver. And don't give so much that you get taken, you know, things get taken that shouldn't be theirs. And I want to bring you to a memory link of walking in a park and kicking or hitting or knocking, I don't quite know what you're doing, puffballs or something equivalent. It looks like googly eyes, doesn't it? I like the googly eyes. Right, I've just got the date of 1975. I was born in 1976, so that's 45 this year, I think. That's just come in for you. They're also saying to me, Heather, to ask you to check your tyre wear, please. There's some kind of angelic practitioner thing that you want to do. And they're just saying, why not? The time is right. Yeah, do it. Do it. You've got the support, you've got the substance. Is that the right word? Substance, I think, is the right word. I mix my words up, so I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Heather, you have a bit of a difficulty making decisions sometimes. And I want to bring to you the idea of the power of three. So when you have a difficulty making a decision, choose 3 things that you're really, really intuitively drawn to. And then you can decide from those 3. So it feels that you have a lot of deliberation on things. Some things need deliberation. There's definitely some serious paperwork you're dealing with at the moment that needs really looking at. But some things just need to be broken down so it's a bit more simple and accessible. I've just heard an M name in my mind. I thought it was Mary, but I don't think it is. Sounds a bit like Maori, but I don't think it's Maori. Maori. Sure. Let's put a little bit more pink in for you. Oh, full of pink. So much unconditional love, darling. So much unconditional love. The open mind you have now is not how you've lived all your life. So remember that when you meet people with their closer minds. There's certainly someone within your family that has an opinion on what you do. Don't worry about it. My parents used to feel that way. Now they support what I do. Tropical fish. Tropical fish I'm seeing in a tank. I feel when I see tropical fish, it's like they're so relaxing, so calming. But I do feel this is a memory link for you. I feel this is something from your own experience in life. Right, I want to bring in for you the animal messenger of a peacock. Mostly about being proud of who you are and what you've achieved. Not looking back to what you should have done before, be in the present. And understand your journey was the journey it was for a reason, and you'll understand that in the future. Right. So I want to bring in some swallows for you. They're not going to look like swallows, but they're telling me they're swallows. And it's an old old barn that these swallows are living in. And a very, very strong connection to Wizard of Oz. Maybe it's your favourite story, your favourite film. Same about Judy Garland. Connection to Judy Garland. And know, guys, that we can channel famous people. In the past, I've channeled Heath Ledger. I don't think there's anyone else. But they're just people. They've got, their fame is from being behind a camera and publicity, but they are just people. This path of gold is just saying that you'll always get what you need. So there's a little bit of a concern over whether you've got enough, and they've just given you a literal path of gold. There is a need to be somewhere a lot more natural. Woodland really suits you. Now, if you're looking in the UK, I would suggest the Forest of Dean or the New Forest would suit you very, very well. I really want you to try and erase what if, I should have, I could have, I didn't do from your mind. I really want you to understand that your path is the path for a reason. Same for myself. I've suffered depression. I went through being homeless. All of it was so I could get to this point, and all of what you've been through is so you can get to your point where you are now. Pick up some colour. You love colour, just like I do. You love colour. Pick up some colour and do something creative. So I've just been shown a stripy scarf. I feel this is something you've created at some point in your life. We were talking about being creative. I've just been shown a lovely stripy scarf. I've also been shown Doctor Who, but I don't know if that's my association with stripy scarf or yours. Something you've been growing, Heather, that's starting to either, well, fruit, I'm hearing. It's something you've never done before, so I just want to remind you this the symbolism of like you've never done it before and it's worked. Something you've done in the past, Heather, where, you know, when you're in more of a corporate lifestyle, that's a bit uncomfortable for you as a memory. Let go of it. That's life. We always do something we don't particularly like. The Year of the Tiger is a big connection to you. Right, I don't know it. I'm Year of the Dragon. That's somewhere near my year. I know that your higher education days weren't wasted. Everything will be used. You're a very, very resourceful person. You can be resourceful. There I go. Finding it hard to talk again. You can be resourceful with everything you have, with your mind, as well as your items. Well, we've done that, Heather. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Here's your picture. And lots of lovely, lovely, vibrant colours in there, isn't there? I love that blue, that beautiful electric blue. That's just reminding you that you're a great communicator. And remember, folks, if you're a psychic or a medium, that's a major part of your job. So it's something that's really, really important. Know you're loved, Heather. Know you're perfectly you, and know you've got great things coming. Lots and lots of love. Bye for now.